Welcome to round 3 of the Parenting Roundabout podcast for the week of July 25th. I'm Terri Morrow, and I'm here with Catherine Haleko.
Hello.
Nicole Eridix is away this week. We're moms of teens and young adults, and when it comes to parenting, we've been there, done that, bought the t-shirt. But we're still waiting for that day when we'll reach the finish line and have no further need to lay down in a dark room with a wet rag over our eyes, worrying about something or other. Wednesday is Complaint Day here on Parenting Roundabout, and today we are complaining about shared responsibility for big projects. What has your husband started now, Catherine?
Okay, so I mention on the podcast that a while ago my husband decided to really completely renovate the garage for
unknown. I'm not sure you did, but
unknown reasons.
That can't be good.
Yeah. And, this was fully his idea, and he did do a lot of it when I was out of town. Because whenever I'm not home, it seems to
Did he start it without telling you while you were out of town? And then you came back and said, why can't I pull into the garage?
Right. No, this was in the works, definitely before I left. And right, since my car was gone for several days, that was also, one reason why it was happening when I wasn't home. But when I was home, it wasn't finished yet. And there was still work to do. And I did help a little. I mean, I put in a couple of hours at the most. And that was mostly just out of guilt, right? I mean, there were a few requests can you help me pick this out or decide this or whatever, and which I mostly avoided. But then the other day I embarked on going on a all-day extremely long hike. And I, of course, did not invite my spouse to participate in this because number one, it wasn't I was a guest of someone else. And, I knew that it would not be his thing. But, the day after, if I need to spend all day recovering, how much does that mean that he needs to cater to my needs? Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
I brought this on myself, and that's how I feel about his project.
Yeah. No, but he still has to. It was in the husband contract. Did he not notice when he signed?
But was it in the wife contract for me to have to help with the garage?
Absolutely not.
I like your legal skills.
I'm an old-fashioned woman. Garage and yard are for the men folk. Right. Kitchen are for the women folk, but I don't do anything in the kitchen either. So,
right, except in our cases.
Yeah, no. I think there's guys who would not want you messing in their garage. Is my impression.
Yes,
do not do anything in our garage. We park cars in our garage and have piles of empty boxes that need to go someplace for recycling. Our garage is not a project. Most of the people on our street have turned their garages into other things: workrooms, extra bedrooms, game rooms, what all. We actually used ours for cars. We're just iconoclastic like that. So there's nothing really project-wise to do in our garage.
Yeah, you would think that there would be nothing project-wise to do in our garage, where also we stored cars, and it's detached.
Oh.
Right? So, so why then would it need insulation and drywall and paint?
Why indeed?
So, yeah, that is the question. Because that is what the project entails.
Oh, my goodness. Well, is he planning to turn it into something other than a garage?
No.
No? He's not building you a little office out there?
No.
Complete with...
And all the neighbors, all the male neighbors, were kibitzing the whole time. Like, are you going to do it this way? Or are you going to do it that way?
Adorable.
Wait a minute. Are you moving? Why are you doing this? That was the number one question.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
See, I always thought the charm of a garage is that it didn't have to look very good because the cars didn't care.
Right.
Guys with grease on their hands don't care.
Exactly. And I mean, to be honest, it definitely looks better. It's, you know, it's, it just looks brighter and cleaner and more organized. And, you know, because he got rid of, like, there was just random, like, shelves and platforms and things. And he did get rid of a lot of stuff. And he put in, you know, a better way to organize and corral things. So, I mean, I agree that it's an improvement. But, you know, my patience for A, helping, or B, listening to any complaints about how one is tired or one's back hurts or whatever, I have not a lot of patience for in that situation, which is why I'm conscious of, you know, after I have done something, you know, I should not complain because I brought it on.
Oh, but that's like a physical thing. That's like a taking care of your sweetie. You have no obligation to take care of
luckily,
4 walls of a garage, but you could, you know, take care of your
luckily,
achy body.
I did not really suffer any adverse effects, but I was just thinking, if I did, what would be the ruling?
Different rules for a project than for your loved one's personal body. Taking care of your loved one who is ailing is different than a project. It should not be a project. Should not count. Should not be in the project category.
It should not count as project, even if they brought it on themselves.
Exactly. That's my philosophy.
That's your philosophy.
It's not really a big issue in my house because we are not handy. So there are no projects like that. The project is I have to call the handyman and tell him to come. Can it be on a day when you're home and can you deal with him? That's how I deal with project things. I am the one who has to make the phone calls and figure actually I think I made my husband make a phone call too. It's just the dealing with work people is our project. And you know, if he's home, he'll do it. But I'm very frustrated when he is not or does not seem to be concerned about that. So it's like, please don't make me deal with work people.
No.
They want to talk to men.
Exactly.
So.
Well, and I've been known to, you know, give the wrong answer.
Yeah.
When faced with a question from such a person, you know.
And just if you don't know the right or wrong answer, it's just having to make the decision.
Yes, for sure.
See, I want somebody else to make the decision so that I can then criticize it. Because when I make the decision and have to criticize it, it's less fun.
Yes. Much less.
So we had some major renovations done, and that was definitely a project, just dealing with all the different people and making sure people were coming and how much are they charging and this and that and which, you know, I would have to we were using a handyman instead of a proper reno service, so it was like pick out a sink at Home Depot. It should be about this size, and so I was having to do all of that. And would have liked some sharing, but. Yeah, it's really not that much of an issue. There are things I wish that my spouse would take on as a project that he adamantly refuses to, like cleaning the bathroom.
Right.
But, you know, at least at this point, we're not project people. When the kids were younger, I had whole huge projects involving them.
Right.
But that was my stuff. I was not inviting participation.
You were not inviting
other than
a co-pilot.
Exactly. Other than driving them there. It's like...
Right.
I will find out the 10 therapies they need, and then you will drive them to these places. So, and he was fine with that.
Right.
So I guess we're fairly cooperative. He does take care of me if I have done things that cause me discomfort, even if they were my fault.
Like getting a shot in your eye. I mean, not that was your fault.
Oh, yes, he's very sweet with that. Yes. Or, you know, falling.
Right.
Which I guess is not my fault either because gravity, but still... Gravity and age are a not great combination, but still, I'm just putting one foot in front of the other. It's not that hard to put it down on the bottom of the foot and not on my ankle, you would think. So, yeah, he's been very sweet with all of that. So, I feel there are times when I wish my husband was handy, but more times than I'm like, thank gosh, he's renovating the garage.
Yes.
His projects are more like watch every episode of Perry Mason.
Right.
And he's really completing those without my assistance.
Before I left on the road trip that we talked about last week, he said to the dogs, like, what should we do? What project should we do while everyone is gone?
And the dogs are like, I don't do projects, man. You're on your own.
Actually, when he was doing the garage, the dogs would sit either in the garage or in the grass right outside, just keeping a real strict eye on things.
Looking at him lovingly and in admiration, or going, look at this clown. What is he doing now?
Sitting there like making sure you're still here.
Human beings, am I right?
Right. You could be just laying around. What are you doing?
Watch the dogs. We will show you the way.
Yes.
Really, it's okay to sleep all day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what we do.
And also, does he have any dog treats in there? Doesn't look like there's any dog treats in there. He's a pretty long way away from the dog treats. We don't know how we feel about this.
At one point, he brought out like a scrap of AstroTurf, which I don't know why he had, to put in the garage for them to lay on.
Oh my goodness.
So that they would have a little surface. Oh, dear.
Do they pay any attention to you at all, those dogs? Are you just like...
Oh, yes.
The inconvenient person who gets in their way when they're trying to get stuff from him?
No, they do. I mean, I think part of the reason that they were hanging around him so much was because I wasn't here. And so they were like, we're missing our one adult. Like, we got to keep a real good eye on the one that's left.
That's right.
Make sure nothing happens to him.
If he tries to leave the premises, nip his ankle.
Yes. For sure.
Well, good luck to you with the garage and with whatever comes after it.
Yeah.
And after it. And in the meantime, I think he should have to give you massages and whatever for your hiking fatigue.
Post-hiking care.
Yes. That's not a project. That's an act of love.
I like your thinking. Thank you very much.
Or that's what we'll tell them anyway.
Yeah.
And possibly some chocolate to be brought. Yeah. And turn on the TV for me, honey. So I don't have to strain myself by getting up. Well, that's it for today's round 3, which has been a bit of a project in itself. Tune in tomorrow when we'll obsess about risks our kids might be taking, and then on Friday to see what we've come up with for our Roundabout Roundup picks this week. Find all our episodes at parentingroundabout.com and talk back in the comments there, on our Facebook page or on Twitter, where you'll find us at Roundabout Chat.